All right, dragons. Lesson number 3. Now that you're back home, let's say that you're defending your home. Now I want to show you guys a little trick. And it's a little bit of a trick of physics. Sort of like the age-old morality problem of whether or not to switch the rail if there's more or less people on one side and you can't stop the train. The problem is dealing with mass, and in this case, a mass of beliefs. So let's represent mass with a circle. And now that we have a circle, that represents mass, and we can visualize this better, I'll show you some tricks that you can do with mass. And especially when mass, it seems, is against you. When the odds and the numbers are not in your favor. The more that mass grows, and this is a circle, so it's expanding on all sides evenly at the same rate of time, rate of speed. Over time is velocity. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to use mass on our side. Or what I would then say is the mass of a body, which represents beliefs, into you use their own momentum against them. Okay? So you have to understand where the mass is coming from at the first place, which itself should give this away, because I drew a pretty damn good circle here, pardon my French. But the funny thing is that the more circular that mass is, which if we're talking about something that's perfect, okay, then it has no direction. So then there's an obvious contradiction in regards to the bodies that are in motion. Because the more perfect the ideology, right? So when you're coming across different people and different ideologies, this is building off all of our lessons. We're taking lesson 1, lesson 2, and I'm expanding this into a very complex lesson 3. But I told you before that you guys need to speak to each other on field. Now, the more that you talk, the more that you learn, the more that you understand, what's going to end up happening is you're going to find these different belief systems, right? And the contradiction with belief systems is that if it's a perfect circle, it's expanding in all directions at the same rate over time, which means that it doesn't hold any true direction. So when you recognize something that is telling you that you're going some wrong way, or there's an overwhelming force coming against you using ideologies, and they're using the concept of perfection in support of their ideology, what you then have here is the obvious countermeasure, which is the fact that if their ideology was perfect, it would be like a circle. And if it was perfect like this circle, then it would not have any true direction per se. So there's the obvious contradiction. Now, we're bodies which are made up of many shapes, not just these perfect philosophical representations like circles. And so as the problems become more complex in our lives, what you have to do is recognize opportunity, which is one reason why I'm making this video at this time. Was by recognizing that this was actually occurring in my life at this moment, which in essence means that if I was applying my other terms of endearment towards these exercises, then I should probably have an opening so that this pure ideology can then be represented in itself as a notion that there is an opening now for me to make my point, whatever that may be. With, in regards to this, a straight line, a longer line, an even longer line. The longer that I make each line, the less that I can do around the line. Each line represents a notion of work, which is, I think, why they say I drew the short stick, because a short stick can be applied in figurization to being added upon in many different ways. Whereas you're limited by your medium with how long you draw a figure, which means that then you'll just be left with nothing but a stick if you simply are so arrogant in regards to your position that you just try to go against mass so much that then you'll just have a worthless mass, pretty much, which in biology is then considered cancerous. So then there you have it. Now, obviously we go the way of Jesus, in this house at least. So now you find the direction that leads to the opening, and you go and you work towards this middle line, this middle figure within regards to the opposition at hand, to then represent your counterbalance to the ability for people to be in your presence, which is to say that the home itself is a structure that is for everyone, and represent the notion that this is your home. Well, I was thinking that these lessons are kind of like something now with these figurizations that have been done that can be something that can be applied in a very broad and a very microscopic manner. So I don't know how many more of these lessons dedicated to dragons, I'm gonna do or not, but it's like, I kind of feel like I can just say that we can apply all these different factors into like a thing, and we can weave them in and out of each other to create whatever type of formations that we need to. Let's just write this out here. Jet Benson. I'm just doing this because arrows and sports. Jet Benson. Colton. All right, and then let's see here. Lucas will just be this representation. All right. Just for whatever reason. Go Dragons.